Hello, history enthusiasts. Today, I'm sharing one of the most incredible tales you've likely never heard. This is the story of a spy so cunning, so daring, that his schemes reshaped the course of the Renaissance. His name? Filippo Brunelleschi. But don't let that name fool you. It's not just about architecture. This is about lies, guile, and one of history's boldest acts of espionage. Let's set the scene. The year is 1401. Italy is in the grip of a cultural explosion, unlike anything the world had ever seen, the Renaissance. Florence, with its bustling streets and irrepressibly ambitious citizens, was at its very heart, seeking greatness in art and science alike. Among these pursuits was a contest that had every Florentine buzzing: the creation of the baptistery's bronze doors. These weren't just any doors. They symbolized prestige, power, and Florence's divine legacy. 7 artists entered this high-stakes contest. Filippo Brunelleschi was one of them. Brunelleschi was a renowned goldsmith and architect, known for his fiery personality and competitive edge. But here's the twist. He lost the competition. Yes, lost. Another artist named Lorenzo Ghiberti won. And just like that, Brunelleschi vanished from Florence. People wondered, had defeat crushed his spirit? Had he given up artistry altogether? Oh no, dear viewers. The truth is much juicier than that. Brunelleschi had other plans. Here's what's fascinating. Brunelleschi didn't just leave Florence in defeat. He set out to reinvent himself. He traveled to Rome, but not as a tourist. He arrived under a cloud of secrecy. While most visitors marveled at the grandeur of the Colosseum or the Pantheon, Brunelleschi looked with a different eye. These ruins were his textbooks, their secrets, his syllabus. He wanted to rediscover the architectural techniques of the ancient Romans, secrets believed lost for over 1,000 years. What exactly did he do in Rome? Here's where it gets thrilling. Brunelleschi engaged in one of the earliest and most sophisticated acts of architectural espionage. He measured, sketched, and analyzed ruins obsessively. But he didn't stop at mere curiosity. Brunelleschi disguised his work under the guise of studies, so no one could steal the techniques he was rediscovering. Rival architects, and even locals, noticed his unusual work. Rumors began to swirl about what he was up to, but Brunelleschi kept his discoveries strictly to himself. Now, imagine the stakes. Brunelleschi was rebuilding an empire in his mind, but he'd play his cards close to his chest. Why? Because Italy wasn't just a land of art. It was a land of rivalry. Cities like Florence, Rome, and Siena were constantly trying to outdo one another, not just in war, but in culture. This secrecy gave him an edge, a level of mystery and intrigue that left his competitors in the dark. Fast forward to 1418. Brunelleschi suddenly returns to Florence like a storm with a purpose. The city announces an impossible challenge, finishing the enormous dome for the Florence Cathedral. This dome had sat incomplete for decades, paralytic in its unfinished grandeur. No one knew how to construct it, because no wooden scaffolding could support a dome that massive. It was a project meant to last lifetimes. Brunelleschi steps forward, exuding confidence. He promises he can do it, but here comes the twist. He refuses to share how. He claims his methods are so revolutionary that no one else would understand them, let alone be able to execute them. His unconventional insistence enrages city officials. Some call him a lunatic, others accuse him of bluffing. But Brunelleschi stands his ground, and officials give him the green light, under one condition. He must work alongside none other than Lorenzo Ghiberti, the man who had defeated him years earlier. Oh, the drama. Brunelleschi and Ghiberti were like fire and ice. Their rivalry was palpable, two artists forced to collaborate, yet secretly battling for dominance. To assert his authority, Brunelleschi devised one of history's most audacious plans. During the dome's construction, he faked an illness. Yes, you heard that right. He pretended to fall gravely ill, leaving Ghiberti to take the reins. Ghiberti, unprepared to manage such an immense challenge, quickly floundered. The project's progress slowed, and panic began to rise. At the perfect moment, Brunelleschi made a dramatic recovery and returned to work. This act revealed Ghiberti's incompetence and won Brunelleschi complete control of the project. Manipulative? Absolutely. Genius? Without a doubt. It's an extraordinary combination of art and cunning. But let's look at the dome itself, folks, because this is where Brunelleschi's espionage truly pays off. His secret studies of Roman architecture gave him the knowledge to build without scaffolding. Instead, he designed a unique system of herringbone patterns to hold the bricks in place, creating a self-supporting structure. Was this innovation stolen from the ancient texts he studied in secret? Almost certainly. Still, it became his legacy. Construction took 16 years. And when it was completed, the Florence Cathedral dome wasn't just an engineering marvel. It was a cultural triumph. It symbolized the rebirth of human ingenuity, fueling the Renaissance like never before. To this day, it dominates Florence's skyline as a testament to this incredible historical figure. Interestingly, Brunelleschi guarded his architectural secrets until the very end. He left no detailed plans, no blueprints, and only cryptic notes, leaving scholars to piece together the puzzle centuries after his death. His mix of brilliance and secrecy continues to baffle historians. How much of his success was his own genius versus his skill in rediscovering ancient Roman techniques? We may never know for certain. And there you have it. The incredible story of how Filippo Brunelleschi used cunning and secrecy to not only outwit his rivals, but also redefine architectural history. It's a tale of ambition, deception, and downright brilliance. So next time you gaze upon Florence's dome, remember, it's more than a marvel of engineering. It's the legacy of a rogue spy who refused to be second best. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Historical Hidden Gems. If you loved this untold story, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow history buffs. Until next time, stay curious and keep uncovering the past.